judgment. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the past, the present, the future, 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 the future.
Under arrest. We have your planet. The DJ booth, in conjunction with the universal hierarchy, has just taken over your planet. It was about 1984, man. I was about 14 years old, and we had some neighbors move next door. And when they moved in, man, I heard this incredible bump through the wall, and they were playing every record I loved. I was like, man, I gotta introduce myself to these guys. Who is this? So I knocked on the door. I says, man, I don't know who you are, but that sound incredible next door. He said, oh, you live next door? Come on in, man. So, let me in. It's like, man, do whatever you want, man. Have whatever you want, man. You hungry? You whatever you want. So, you know, back then the 1200 looked like a spaceship. He had headphones. He had records. He had beer. He had cigarettes. He had weed. He had coke. It's like, man, what you want, man? Whatever you want, man. Just pick it. I said, man, could you pass the headphones? Music is no longer irrelevant. Music is the universal language. Music embraces all therapeutic properties. Music is the highest radiologic resolution. Music is the attack pattern, the cortical warhead, the synaptic counterattack, the rendezvous sequence, the interstellar matrix. Resistance is futile. I messed around in and out of studios for a long time. I like between 85 to about 90. Trying to do what UTFO was doing, what Treacherous 3 was doing, what even Backspin back then was doing. And in those days, I really didn't know whether I wanted to do hip-hop or whether I wanted to do house. But house seemed to be the music where the records didn't die that easily, where hip-hop record would be done in about 6 months. So I stuck to doing house records, even though I was doing house beats.
Everybody's asking me, where the hell you think you're going? They never stop harassing me, and the emotions that I'm showing, baby. 'Cause I'm across the water, private vacation, stressing in my corners, no alienation. Gotta make my getaway. This scenery I'm blowing, the scenery I'm blowing, baby. Now there's a party going on in mind. I can hang out with my family, Facebook family.
I first started recording by accident. You know, usually you go in the studio with a hip-hop record and you go, hey, ho, he, ha, who, you know, and you're doing that kind of stuff in the background while the MC does what he does, you know. And then as time goes on, of course, you know, you start to record poems and you talk or you say something, and then eventually you start to get used to your own voice. And I got used to my voice a lot easier by just joking around and singing, just being silly. And next thing you know, I'm doing records that I only hear myself on. And those are the humble beginnings. It kind of starts by accident.
I've been waiting for you to make up your mind. Now I ain't trying to force you, 'cause you're falling on hard times. Yes, you is.
clearly by accident, of course. You know, that's not something I've ever wanted to do. I never even really wanted to do poetry. I mean, poetry was something that I used to try to describe what the track was. It was never really something that I focused on. But foremost poetry is exactly that. It's poetry trying to describe the music rather than the music describing the poem. As time goes on, you begin to joke around even more and do stuff that reflects the joke.
New York is that buddy ex backfired from the blood vibes, losing himself to a bad mood. Back and forth, twisted, messed up down in his own fantasy. Take control of the party. Take control of the party. Take control of the party, yo. New York, you know I love you.
I beat that bitch with a bat. I beat that bitch with a bat. I beat that bitch with a bat. I beat that bitch. 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 I beat that bitch with a bat.
Around 1987, man, I was DJing for a talent fashion show. I was about 17. It was Barringer High School. And there was this group that came on stage. They had this robot routine. It was 3 of them. And I remember playing their music. And as I played the music, it was great. It sounded good. It was clean. The audience heard it. They were feeling it. And all of a sudden, the amplifier cuts off. I don't know if there was a short. I don't know. It was a bad connection. We wired it wrong. But all I know is all I heard was boo and shoot the DJ, shoot the DJ. And I was like, I don't have a buffer. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck and I'm embarrassed. So I always thought about that. I was like, man, I got to make sure that never happens again. So ironically, 10 years later, I did this funk track that it was like a psychedelic house record. And there was no way to really describe it unless you put some psychedelic lyrics on it.
Under the jurisprudence of the soul, the mind, the body, the positive, the negative, the ground, the proton, the neutron, the electron, the yin, the yang, the young, the sun, the moon, the star, the man, the woman, the child, the plaintiff, the defendant, the judgment, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the past, the present, the future. This is only a test.
So I decided from the memory of that episode to do a test of the emergency broadcast system that any DJ, any engineer, I don't care if you worked on the Death Star or Apollo, I made this poem to cover every single possible scenario in any situation.
I would like to hear this from you. I would like to hear this from you. And I want the world and the cameras to hear. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world? One more time, we don't want no excuses. They may say the film was bad or the camera was broke. One more time, who's the champion of the world?
From the foremost poets, Johnny Dangerous, this is the DJ Hall of Fame with the top 20 tips for new DJs. Tip number 20. Turn the music up as the party kicks in, not before the party kicks in. 19. Respect each other's time slot. 18. Every city has its own sound, so do your homework, but be yourself. 17. When you travel the world, Behave as an ambassador. People do not forget and people do not forgive. 16. Use high quality files only. Every laptop user should invest in a manly, massive, passive plug-in for a bigger sound. 14. Your laptop should have about 16 to 20 gigabytes of RAM for multiple turntables and for video. 13. This I really don't understand. Never underestimate the end of a song. It can give your entire mix set dimension. I just don't understand why you guys don't play the end of records. 12. If the record skips, keep going anyway, but play your ass off the rest of the night. 11. Respect the tempo of the record. Do not slam records that don't go together. 10. Check the sound system early or a day in advance, or suffer the consequences. 9. Do not abuse the isolator, nor the effect machine. Let great songs play by themselves. 8. Play for fun, play for love, play for release, not for ambition and not for competition. It will affect your choices. 7. To play a song once every 30 seconds is like a man who wants to have sex with the entire club when all he really needs is a blow-up doll. Number 6. Now this one is really interesting. Win the crowd, then experiment with the new. Don't experiment with the new trying to win the crowd. 5. Master turntables before all other formats. In fact, master reel-to-reels before you do turntables. But at least start with turntables. Real turntables with needles. 4. Respect everybody's style, and your style will be respected in return. 3. The world is depressed or either on drugs, so raise them up with a sound they'll never forget. 2. Never underestimate a bottle of water. It can save your life, and it can also ruin your life. And the number one tip is the man with the microphone wins the argument. Requests are up to you. This is the Foremost Poets, Johnny Dangerous, with the top 20 tips for new DJs.